evening. Welcome to Point Blank, where we look at issues that strike a chord with you. I'm Poh Kwan and she's Ling. So tonight we'll take you for a few rides on a bus first, and then a train and a bicycle. Commuting with us Tay Qianling, our own videographer, Razor TV videographer, and Tan Yuxiang and Xu Peng Kun. They are Yuxiang, you are a full-time national serviceman, and Peng Kun, you are a student from Ngee Ann Poly. Okay, so what we are looking at tonight is whether the public transport has become even more crowded in gloomy times. So first of all, let us bring you onto a bus to check it out.
Okay.
Hello, we are at Toa Payoh Bus Interchange, and we are going to board bus 143 later because one of our stompers, Alex, have sent in these pictures to our citizen journalism portal, basically showing that there are passengers who stood on the upper deck of the bus when the driver has done nothing to stop them. So it's kind of like a safety hazard, and it's also showing that the bus condition has gotten more and more crowded these days, probably. So we are going to follow a commuter here, Ahezan, who takes the bus 143 regularly. On your way home? All right, okay. So actually, how do you find the condition on the bus? Usually, will it be crowded?
Most of the time. To improve, I think it's better they give more services.
More services. Okay.
During on the peak hours, especially during this time.
Like, how long do you need to wait before you can get on to the bus, usually, at this hour?
This hour, about 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes, and that's pretty reasonable, right? Okay. So, it wouldn't be congested at this point in time, but when it travels to, like, the more central areas, town areas, then it will get more congested. So, where would you be alighting later?
Near Kampung Baru.
Okay, the bus driver is here. Okay, let's go. Thanks. To the bus now. It's 6:30 p.m. on a Monday, so traffic is quite heavy. Do you take bus service 143 regularly?
No, first time. Normally I take SMRT.
Normally you take train. Okay, so why have you chosen to take bus today?
To say just try how long the timing from here to my house.
Okay. So on the train, would it be very congested if you were to take it at this time after work?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe buses there are better choices.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with the condition of the bus?
Yeah, I'm satisfied, but especially sometimes morning when sometimes it's delay.
143 is usually quite alright. I mean, because I'm only going down to Orchard, so usually it's alright. It's just the other services.
Like which one?
Usually it's the feeder services. Firstly, it's very expensive these days, and then it's very irregular. And it's during peak, the frequency during peak period is still not satisfactory. And I feel that feeder services don't go on longer than they should because they'll feed the people from the central area to the outskirts, right? And I feel most of the time when I'm there, I usually have to rush for the last bus.
Most passengers that we have talked to seem to have no complaints about bus service number 143 yet, although they said it will get more crowded when we reach Orchard Road. True enough, the lower deck is quickly filled and passengers are streaming onto the upper deck. Do you find your ride experience satisfactory?
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, not bad. So, are there any occasions where it's overcrowded?
Not really. When I bought at Orchard, it's quite there are seats available.
Do you have any complaints about
trains? Yeah, very crowded. Always cannot squeeze in.
So bus is usually a better alternative than train.
More seats available.
Actually, I think it's better than the MRT because in sometimes here you can just sit down like this one. Like by this time you have to stand up in the MRT. So yeah.
So you usually be able to find a seat even during rush hours on buses.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not that crowded and it smells better.
Shortly after, Ahisan alighted at Kampong Baru Road, we have reached Vivo City, and the upper deck is fully packed by now. A man who couldn't find a seat lingered on the upper deck for a while, but upon his friend's advice, he has returned to the lower deck, or rather, standing on the steps. The lower deck is equally packed. Can you usually find a seat, when you board bus service number 143?
I think the seats are not enough for the passengers, especially during peak hours, like from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Have you seen cases where passengers have gone upstairs to the upper deck and they stand there because they are not enough?
Of course, I've seen those kind of issues.
会不会常常找不到位置？ Well, the same situation in these pictures did not repeat itself throughout our 2-hour journey on bus 143. And for those who managed to get a seat, it's been a pretty pleasant journey actually. But if we want to make sure that most people can have an equally comfortable ride home, SBS may need to run its buses at even higher frequency during peak hours.
So the passengers that Poh Kwan spoke with all seem to be happier with buses than trains. Do you feel the same way as well, Ling?
I prefer buses than trains. Actually, I hate when you have to go in. I hate that part. Because for train, right, you have to squeeze in, and it's like, it's like everyone very, very aggressive. Compared to bus is like, okay, for the first, the entrance, right, is just for those people who's getting out. While for the back, it's like alighting the bus. So it's like two different.
Okay,
it's
so
more
you feel
orderly.
Like you're being trampled on when you're getting to the train, right?
Okay. Yeah. What about Poh Kwan?
I also prefer bus because I'm taking bus more frequently.
Okay.
So but I dislike those bus that is single deck. So with those stairs behind, so you get very crowded and you cannot stand on the steps.
Okay. Then what about Yushang?
I actually prefer bus also because as you can see, bus has a lot of routes. So from what I travel, I can choose a lot of buses to take on because I actually buy a concession pass, so I can just spot any bus that can bring me to my destination rather than sticking to the dead route of the MRT lines.
Okay. Have you come across a case where people were standing on the double deck?
Yeah. Such as this one where our Stomper has sent into to our website. Have you seen this before on a double deck?
From my experience, I did not see this kind of situation before, but there are some who are standing on steps. More of standing on steps than on the double deck.
Okay. So the passengers, as well as our guests, they are all happier with bus services. At least with the situation, it's less crowded. But what about bus frequencies? I mean, do you think it's satisfactory at this point in time?
I think that with regard to the bus frequency, because now with the SBS Transit, they have the REs, so you can actually check the bus frequency. So as for the bus frequency, it's not too bad with SMRT. With SBS, but there's a problem with SMRT where it either get too early or too late.
It doesn't stick to the schedules all the time, right?
So punctuality for SBS Transit is actually better than for SMRT. Okay, we shall let them know. Now, can I just go back to the point about folks standing on the upper decks? Are you guys aware that it's against regulations that you're not supposed to? Did you know that?
Aware.
You saw the sign.
But
standing.
I actually saw people standing up there.
Anyway.
But to what I know, they're just stand there for a few stops and just turn down. So I guess this is because, since it's like just a few stops, that's why the bus driver didn't say anything.
You think so? Yeah, I was wondering about that. In fact, we actually spoke with SBS Transit and they actually just came back with a reply not too long
in your handphone.
I know, they sent me an SMS. So according to SBS Transit, Standing on upper decks is not allowed for safety reasons. We have signs on board to advise commuters not to do so. Bus captains will advise commuters where possible. We also appeal to commuters to take personal responsibility for their own safety by complying with this policy. So this came from Ms. Tammy Tan, the Vice President of Corporate Comms for SBS Transit. The thing is, I'm just wondering how the bus driver is going to tell passengers
unless
to
he has
down.
to stop the service and go up to intervene himself, right?
Yeah.
Actually, standing on the steps can be equally dangerous, right? You know, like buses can be quite jerky at certain parts of the roads, and I had experience, knocking my watch against the handle when I'm trying to grip. I have a harder grip on the handle on the steps. So and then there goes my watch. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But so, do you yourself enjoy bus rides more than train rides?
For me, yes. Yeah, because there's a higher likelihood of finding a seat as compared to trains. So we have listened to experiences from our guests, and now we'll have Elsie, our reporter, to bring us on a train ride from Jurong East to Raffles Place during the morning crunch hour. And let's see if the situation is really worse than that of buses. Have a look.
So I'm here on the Jurong East MRT platform with Casey and Timothy. So we're trying to get onto the train. And where are you guys going?
Raffles. Tanjong Pagar.
So do you take the train every morning from here?
Yeah. Definitely, every day. Every day.
Right, right. So what has your experience been?
Pretty crowded. Pretty crowded, yeah. Well, yeah, as you can see, it's quite a hassle. Take the train every day. Yeah. Because there are like so many people, man. Yeah.
The train arrived and we jostled with the crowd, hopping onto it just in time and with barely enough standing room. This is a common sight on the trains during peak hour, but commuters have been complaining that the trains are getting more crowded and remain so even after the rush period of 7 to 9 a.m.
Do you think it has gotten more and more crowded on the train? I mean, because you've been taking the train for quite some time, right?
Well, yeah, definitely, man. It's been getting more and more crowded, especially recently, I guess, yeah.
Why do you think it's recently more crowded?
I guess there are like a whole variety of reasons. I'm not too sure. Maybe, it's a credit crunch and more people want to take public transport. I guess it's just, honestly, I'm not very sure, man. Yeah.
What do you think, Casey?
Yeah, getting more and more crowded recently. But, well, as I suppose, as what Timothy has mentioned, credit crunch should be, maybe part of the reason causing trains to be more crowded. And probably ERP may be another reason for drivers to come out and take public transport. Even that we understand that the petrol prices are coming down, but, well, times are bad.
A recent poll suggested that motorists agreed that the ERP system has helped to cut congestion on the road, but that may have just shifted the extra load onto the public transport system. Commuters feel that they do not have much of a choice when it comes to peak hour travel.
Well, in current situation, right, I don't think there's much of a difference. You get a human jam here, and you get a traffic jam on the road. So you choose which jam you want to endure in the morning,
Other commuters like Joash Lee decided to stop for breakfast as he could not get onto the train at 7 a.m. but was still surprised by the crowd at 9 in the morning.
You were on the train at 7 and was...
Yeah, it was really crowded, almost couldn't get in. Then after breakfast, 2 hours later, it's still as crowded.
So you actually stopped to have breakfast because the train was too crowded?
Yeah, because you wanted to sit down, but then apparently there are no seats.
Very crowded.
Very, very crowded.
So you take the train every day?
Yes. I think the crowd, as you can see, this is quite unacceptable at past 9 a.m. going towards the city. I think they really should increase the frequency of the trains.
So you have that you think that it's not frequent enough? How frequent should it be?
I think now sometimes the peak period timing is about 4 to 5 minutes, right? if that stretches across 9 a.m. and this is the crowd level you're looking at in the MRTs going into town, I find that as unacceptable. Okay, previously, in the previous years, before 9 a.m., the crowd level is probably about this, but now after 9 a.m., it's still the same.
Do you find that it's getting more and more crowded actually recently?
Yes. Across the last 1 year.
Do you find that it's getting more and more crowded?
Of course. I think because of the population that grew. So right now it's like sometimes you hardly can squeeze in. And some of us, the interval, right? Like this train that I'm boarding is actually 4 minutes away. So there's some improvement to be on it.
So how frequent do you think the train should be?
Especially in the morning, it should be 1 to 2 minutes because it's actually a very crowded time. Because everybody is actually rushing for work.
Please mind the platform gap.
That's true. So what is one of your worst experience? Have you had any worst experience on the train?
It's just that probably not enough air. It's quite stuffy, like from times to times because of the air condition thing. Yeah.
So it's a bit suffocating, huh?
Yes, of course.
What is your worst experience taking the train?
Evening time when I want to go towards town, and then at Jurong East, everyone stands at the door and don't let me go out because they all want to get a seat.
Have you all taken any public transport overseas, like abroad, and how do you compare with Singapore's?
Well, I guess last time I was in Taiwan, and I'll be frank, it's like this. But I guess the citizens there, they're more orderly. Like they're willing to line up and they're willing to really move all the way in. They will not clump at one area. But I guess in a way they are as urgent as us. When they want to get in, they'll just get in. So I guess it's similar in that manner. Yeah.
For Casey and other commuters like him, the main thing on their mind is to get to the office on time with as little hassle as possible.
Well, it looks like there are still lots of rooms for improvement. So we'll have SMRT's response for you in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
All right.